All right, I'm back. So after saying what I was saying, I have to pull this out. This is Hebrews 4 verse 12. For the word of the Most High is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing of sunders of the soul and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and the intent of the heart. So this word can destroy your soul, break your soul apart. The word asunder means to be broken into pieces. And as I've already given the example of Vocab Malone, Vocab Malone went from having, as I'm going to say again, a clean face, to having a 5 o'clock shadow, to having a goatee, a Fu Manchu, whatever you want to call it, right? To having a full bill on his face. So even though you may be an individual that may disagree, or you heavily disagree with what our point of view is, you will be convinced in what we're saying. All right? You will be thoughtful eventually as to what we're saying, and it's going to be bothering you. And this is why Vocab Malone is partially still dedicated to trying to overthrow what we're saying, because if he can't overthrow it, then that means it's got to be truth then. That means it's got to be the genuine truth of the Bible. So with that being said, without having to acknowledge that, he has to be on his bandwagon constantly on the road or on the path to try to destroy what we're saying. But as he's doing is he's getting more messed up as the time progresses. So not only can this truth convince you, even though you may not agree with it, but if you come up against it hardcore, this word can come up against you and destroy you hardcore. All right? That's the after effects of coming up against the word of Yahweh Shai, which is the one and only truth of all. All right? And as Yahweh Shai said in the book of Matthew 24, verse 35, heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. So the doctrine of Yahweh Shai, which is all throughout the Bible, to be exact in the New Testament, because that's what he was involved in at the time, is eternal. Okay? So with that being said, everyone's just wasting their time. And I'm talking about the group of men that's out there trying to demolish what we're saying. You're wasting your time, but they don't know that until the last minute. Okay? Because what the Lord is doing is the Lord is using his word and got men deluded, as it is written. The Lord deceives men and chooses their delusions to try to come up against his word, to showcase that his word is powerful and his ways are powerful. All right? Just like how the Lord was manipulating the mind of the Pharaoh, messing with him, so that the Lord can showcase his power. So this is why you have these men out here doing as they may, because really the Lord has chosen their delusions to think that they can destroy our point of view, which our point of view is an eternal point of view, as I've just read in the book of Matthew 24 verse 35. And just to build on what Paul was also saying about if we're in the Most High, then who could be against us? Why? Because more so, as well as I have to read this, as it reads, it says, he that liveth forever hath created all things in general. The Lord is only righteous, and there is none other but he, who governeth the world with the palm of his hands, and all things obey his will. For he is the king of all, and by his power dividing holy things among them from the profane. So he's able to govern the whole earth with the palm of his hand. And with that being said, who can come up against us? Again, like Paul said. Salakia, let me read this again. This is Sirach 18 verse 1. He that liveth forever hath created all things in general. The Lord only is righteous, and there is none other but he, who governeth the world with the palm of his hand, and all things obey his will, for he is the king of all, and by his power dividing holy things among them from the profane. So there you have it right there. This is why Paul said what he said, that if we're in the Most High, who can be against us? Because for one, there's only one live power and the creator. There's no other powers that can come up against the greater power which has created all things. All right. And this is the same power who governs all things by the palm of his hands. All right. So if we're the men of the Lord and we're in the bosom of this power, then nothing can stand up against the men of the Lord. Nothing. And that's being demonstrated right now, yet this day and time. You have parties of men that are calling themselves theologists, that were schooled in these different universities. And by the way, these same men are actually being contorted in the mind as they're upon us. You can't stop this truth. It can't be stopped. So anyway, that's all I have to say. With that, I want to give all of the praise and the glory to the Most High and the Son, Yahweh Bashmi Awashad Bashma Rakak Kwadash. And with that, I am out and I'm closing. Shalom.